Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rachak, Kodash, and Shalom to the, and double honors to the apostles and notice that great millstone. Um, just doing a lesson on this American political system, which was built off of witchcraft. And so, like, let me get this right. All right, so America is built off of witchcraft. And for the most part, people thought that this was going to America is going to prosper. But you see, even on the political side, America is losing its order. Because we already know that the society is ruled by a shadow government who pretty much control the people, control the media, control everything. Okay, and the grassroots of their political system is from the Roman Empire. Okay, which were headed by the Edomites. All right, you can find it out. You can look up articles and find that out. All right. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this. Then I'm gonna go into some scriptures, just to show you the imbalance. All right, and the control and um, the this mischievous things that's been going on. So I'll play a little bit of this.
Why is there a confusion about where we are right now? Well, I think that's because it's confusing, Tom. There's a lot of cross currents, and in general, there's not a whole lot of energy and positivity in the world right now. It's a time of cross currents, of struggle across virtually all major economies, and a really lack of a path to growth and a path to job generation that really are the fundamentals that are going to get us into a better place. Later in the hour.
Hey, but the scriptures tell you that. They tell you that how ye inhabitants of Mektesh, because what he's saying is a global sorrow. I mean, well, there's no growth in the global economic system. Okay, the money is being backed by fraud, and it just shows you that this place is not. It's not what people make it to be. Like it's this prosperous place where you can come and you can prosper. People measure their wealth off the material things that they have, and pretty much the Most High is, He's making this place more or less appeasing or pleasing to the people. Okay, so just give me a second. All right, so this is back to what the man was saying. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 12. Okay, it says he was talking about the shortage of jobs. Well, that's all biblical. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. I'll start at 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. You know what? It's like at 1. The point is, all right. Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Okay. So remember the Most High in his ways right now, while we have the chance, while we have grace, because, the society around us, the government around us, these politicians, they're falling, man. They're falling, and this way of life is falling because we're entering into a new age. And this is the very end of this age, starting with Esau, because he is the sign of the end of this age, the so-called white man, him ruling, him doing all these things behind closed doors, whether it be starting wars, or whatever, sex trafficking, pedophilia, all the things that they are doing, all right, to keep that society running. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. All right. In the day when the keepers of the house, which represents the politicians, shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. The grinders represents the workers, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay, and you don't have a lot of people with skill traits. Look at Wall Street ain't as big as it used to be. It's a transfer of wealth that's happening right now. All right, they're going into this digital currency, but their future is pretty much being darkened. All right, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Even the music is trash. Okay. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. All right. So let me, because I made a point earlier about this being Rome. They're taking after Rome. This is First Maccabees chapter 8 verses 14. It says, for all this none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. And this was pretty much right after the Roman Republic. Well, I can say during the time the Roman Republic was put in power. They set up a government, a senate, very similar to what the structure is now today, as far as the government is concerned. All right. So, Salakia. So 8:14. All right. It says, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby, because the emperors set themselves up like that. Okay, and the kings beforehand. When Rome came in to play, you had the two different bodies of sex, or I should say sex of politicians, or whatever you want, what have you. All right, it says verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end they might be well ordered. And that's how this government is set up. All right. When you read First Maccabees, it's talking about the Roman Republic, how the Romans came pretty much and took over, the rulership right after the Greeks. All right. Because you still had other nations, the Persians and Hamites, and Ishmaelites, still, ruling, but Esau was the dominant, nation at that time. All right, and this is right when the Roman Republic started, the first Punic Wars. Then you had the Battle of Pydna, and Macedonian Wars. Treaty of Palmyra under Eumenes II. Just it's a lot of history in it, but right now it still exists to this day, because America is Rome. All right, and then you have these people scratching their head to why the system is falling is because that old way of that Roman way is the Most High is bringing it down. All right. He's taking their rulership away, and I'll play a little bit more and go to some more scriptures.
Good as a nation. I want to talk about your careful work on healthcare. We looked at cancer yesterday as an introduction, but first let's start with Michael Porter on our political system. You own the phrase barriers to entry. Why does so much of America, of all persuasions, feel so angry about their inability to enter a more productive America? Their barriers to entry seem tangible. Well, I think our political system, to me, and this is a strange thing coming from an economist like me, our political system is our number one problem in America. We have a political system that's not generating solutions. and it's not designed to generate solutions. It's a political system that is locked up by the two parties. There's enormous barriers to entry to freshness and new innovation in the political system. And this election is really something that we've never seen in our lifetime. It's not about solutions, it's about two sparring partners that win by sparring, not win by solving. But, Mike,
See, and that's the game that's being played, all right? That's the game that's being played. And pretty much like you said, nobody comes to any solutions, okay? Because this place was made to pretty much fail, okay? And the political system is part of a tool used to pretty much keep the masses in check and keep them controlled, okay? Isaiah 47:1, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which that's Esau, the so-called white man. All right, sit on the ground. All right, and it's America. Okay, sit on the ground. There is no throne, or daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right, meaning untouched, because this place is being touched economically. The infrastructure is failing. You know, and he's going to mention that they can't even come together, even when it comes to simple issues like infrastructure, jobs, such and such, because it's all a game, man. It's all a game that the elites play. It says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. And that's for the most part, that's America's the job situation. All right, people don't have that prosperity anymore. People can't just get a job that easy as it once was. You gotta have experience, you gotta have traits, skilled traits, excuse me. All right, it says thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So the shame that America has done to the world, as far as the origin of this place, slavery, just much like the Roman Empire. All right, was there were Israelites that was put in slavery, during that time and now. All right, and that's the origin. That's how America was brought up. That's how it became rich, off the backs of slaves. All right, so it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, and that's America, because once America was the top nation in the world, the top, and it's still the richest nation in the world. But where's the prosperity? There's no prosperity, man. The merchant, the merchant city, Wall Street, is losing its pump. Okay. Now let me see, because America is built off of witchcraft. Okay. And a lot of things is going to take place. The people are going to stand up against the politics. All right, politicians. It's like, because it's going to fail them. 2nd Ezra 15, and the people are going to rise up. All right. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. It's going to happen here in America. It's happening it's happening in specific spots all over the world. Venezuela, it's still happening over there in Syria, Turkey, Greece, whether it be generated or not. Okay. So for verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So you're gonna have militia groups taking over as the politicians fail them. So more and more of these people that's politicians can't. and won't be able to appease the turmoil that these people are going to go through, and they're going to rise up. Okay. Not only that, but they're going to realize that they've been cheated by their own government. Okay. Let me see. So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city, okay, and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what's going to happen. Okay. You'll see a whole lot more of that. All right. 144, hallelujah. So, so yeah.
Mike, I mean, as we've been seeing, of course, this is a trend that we see across Europe as well. We have been seeing the extremes gathering steam. You see it in France when it comes to the National Front. You see it in Greece when you have the far left sweeping to power. How much of a concern is it to you that the protest vote actually gathers steam?
Well, I think people are, there is a massive protest going on. It's kind of a global protest. Mr. Trump's support is protest. Bernie Sanders' support is protest. I think because people are not seeing progress. People are not seeing governments solving problems. People are not seeing people agreeing on what needs to be done. I mean, America is, I can talk much more fluidly about America. We haven't gotten any progress on any of our most important issues. Our tax system, our immigration system, our infrastructure, our education. All the things we know we have to fix, we're not making any progress.
Michael, I've cited in interviews how you are the anti-Robert Gordon. Professor Gordon, esteemed professor of Northwestern, with a book out now on the fall of American exceptionalism, the nostalgia for another era. I've always heard you push against that. Defend our present exceptionalism. Defend our innovation.
I think America is a remarkable and still highly innovative place. We have enormous strengths. We have enormous opportunity for innovation. We have really quite a competitive business community. We have still an enormous ability to generate new companies in high tech. But what's holding us down is this divergence between those with skill and those with the capacity for innovation and those that are just sort of the ordinary workers.
And Bonnie, it's the innovation for the few.
Well, it's very interesting because, in fact, in the Financial Times, I was just pointing it out, there's a fantastic op-ed talking about innovation in America and in Britain, and how there's plenty of it in Britain, but then American companies tend to buy up those British companies. Britain is increasingly skilled, he writes, at turning its brain power into thriving tech firms, but these tend to end up in the arms of American giants.
Yeah, well, I think the system of financing and capital and risk capital, I think, is very well developed here. Companies can raise lots and lots of money, but there's no reason why America is not and can't be the most competitive economy in the world. But what's happening, Tom, that scares me very, very deeply is that the gap between those people that are thriving in the greatness of America and those people are sort of getting left out is causing us to not make headway, not make progress.
Within the bimodal system, where Alan Kruger...
So, that was pretty much it on that, I got a few more scriptures, because we already know. It's just a matter of time. We're waiting. We're seeing this place fall slowly but surely. But I'm going to read Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. All right. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Meaning government, meaning mind control, or control over the mind. All right. And it's talking about being well ordered. As you can see, the politicians are not well ordered because they can't even deal with the issues, the main issues that they need to focus on. OK, they're focused on other things. OK, you see what they put in the news. It's all trash, man. All right. As a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. All right. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All right. So, and for the most part, the leaders are what? Psychopathic, socialists, left wing, whatever they want to call them, homosexuals, lesbians, transgenders, So look at the people, You know, look at their mind state. Look at their judgments. They're all off. You know, they don't bring any righteousness. They don't bring any truth. You know, everything is about, self, and pretty much pushing everybody away. All right. An unwise king destroyed his people. See, and these people are being destroyed by their own government. All right. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right. But you see, there ain't no prudent leaders, man. In the kingdom there will be. All right. It says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. And that's Yahushua, because he's going to be profitable, because he's righteousness, man. He represents righteousness, and his fellow servants or his fellow brethren, they're going to be righteous too, the 144,000. All right. And they're going to rule the earth in righteousness. All right. It says, in the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man. And that's one thing people fail to realize, that the Lord gives you the prosperity. All right. He sets you low too. And upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices, which the so-called white man has done. They had hatred because of who we are. They had jealousy because of who we are. Because we're a stronger nation. We're a more talented nation. We're a smarter nation of people. And that's just not to down people. That's just true. Okay. The proof is in the pudding. All right. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man. And you see the pride of the so-called white man. And look, the rest of the nations of the earth, they hate the white man because of his pride. Okay. You see how Trump stands up and, with the other leaders of the earth. He's the proudest person, pushing people out the way, moving people, making people feel like shit. But that's how the white man is. All right. It says, and by both doth one commit iniquity. All right. So pride and being hateful, man, slacking. So it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the politicians, all right, the whole government system. Okay. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, hey, America is going to lose big time. They're going to fail. It's going to be destroyed. All right. And you can see the inner workings, and the politicians or politics is failing itself. So you see the slow decline, and the Lord is pushing the truth out there to make this more known, to make his ways more known. All right. So like I said, man, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follows. All right, verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? All right, because that's what the Lord is going to turn you into. All right. Okay, so it says, there is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, meaning a thief, man. Who's the thief? The so-called white man who stole a whole nation. And not only that, he came to the Americas and stole the land. All right. And made the people that's of the land, or that's indigenous to the land, he made them refugees. All right. It says, for such and one set it his own soul to sell. All right. What he's done in the past, man. He already sold his soul, doing mischief and evil. Okay. It says, because while he liveth, he cast away his vows. All right. Pretty much his integrity. Okay. It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king tomorrow shall die. All right. And for the most part, that represents the so-called white man. It says, for when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, which the so-called white man has done. He departed from the maker, the heavenly Father. It says, and his heart is turned away from his maker. That's why he set up these science institutions, to combat or to change the laws of God, to change the covenant. All right. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. As you can see, look how the structure of the society is made up, in what the things that these people are doing: bestiality, homosexuality, transgenderism, changing the laws in the covenant. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Which he's going to overthrow these people, man. You know? And I'm going to stop right there. The whole chapter is actually good. You know, for the sake of time, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waha, Racha, Kodash, and Shalom, double honors to your apostles, and notice Zechariah Millstone. This is now Yahweh with the beloved truth, and Shalom.